99% of the cases. I'm talking here to you, mom. You're a powerful hero. Do you even realize how much? Do you realize how much your kids are watching you? Even when you think they are not listening, they don't care, even when they're already teenagers and they're like, oh, criticizing you, and they look like they're ashamed of being seen with you. They're watching you. Yeah. And I'm not going to lie, if they're already teenagers, it is going to take more time because there have been years and years of you practicing some toxic relationship dynamic with them and of them seeing you how you treat yourself. But the younger your kids are, the more power you have and the faster not only your healing, but the healing of your kids will be. Okay? Why? Because if you dig deep enough underneath any problem, any symptom that is considered unwanted with your kids, they're in one of these categories, right? Either too shy, low self-confidence, beating themselves up, not having any friends, always being sad, crying at home, not being sociable, not seeming to enjoy their life, depressed, one extreme, or the other extreme. The aggressive bully having huge tantrums and not no attention and what is labeled as ADHD, and or combination of both. Maybe they are swinging like the pendulum between these two extremes. No matter what the symptom is, everything that I just described, everything, if you boil it down to the roots where it started, you will be able to find some common denominators. Maybe it was not even I'm not blaming it on you. Maybe it was not your fault. Maybe it's because you divorced their father, you had to change countries, maybe there was a war where you lived, maybe you were living in extreme poverty, maybe there was some bully in their school, right? Underneath everything, even things that were objectively out of your control that you could not prevent happening your child, like from happening to your child, even then, there is one thing that you can do always, because trauma is not what happens to you or to your kids. Trauma is not what happened. Trauma is what did you make it mean, and did you get enough support afterwards to heal it? That's why there might be victims even of like earthquakes, war. Some families, they completely shut down, break down, emotional, complete destruction. And some families go through it. And yes, they are hurt. Yes, it's tragic, but they don't get mentally broken by it. You had the same case from Holocaust. Extreme horrors and physical torture people went through. It was trauma for all of them, but some people survived it because they were strong here and they changed the meaning. There were even stories of parents who helped their kids go through a war because they just covered up like the painful, scary pieces and they built their kids up on the inside. Yes? That's why no matter what happened to your kids, even if it was objectively out of your control, you can still support them by helping them create the safety that they can always rely on your unconditional love no matter what. That's one case. But more often than this shock trauma that is out of your control, yes, your kid's going through some like extremely traumatic one-off experience. More often than this, I work with parents who, as kids, and now their kids are going through the developmental trauma, which is the opposite extreme. It's not one shocking, terrible, horrible event. It's a series of drop by drop by drop. Little things, if somebody on the outside would look, you would complain about it. Like, oh, your mom yelled at you because you folded the socks the wrong way when you were 4-year-old. Like, what are you? You're such a snowflake. You have no resiliency. Me on the other side, I had to walk to school barefoot, like my grandpa. I had to walk to school barefoot because we had only one pair of shoes and we were 8 boys and we had to take turns. And only when it was my turn to wear the shoes finally, because it was the right size, they were already totally torn out. So even during the winter, I had to walk across the field in 1 meter of snow with no shoes and stuff. Yeah, okay, this is not a victim competition, okay? And yes, developmental trauma is, I sometimes say, death by 1,000 paper cuts. Because if you just cut your finger once, you're just like, oh, whatever, you don't even notice. But if you go and cut on the same place 1,000 times in the next coming few days, ooh, you would have a problem. This is what developmental trauma is. And this is more often than the shocking events happening to your kids. This is what's happening to your kids. And this is where often you are responsible for that, because you're the one who's yelling, you're the one who's stressing, you're the one who does not give them the space to express themselves, you're the one who cannot. And I'm not blaming you for anything, okay? I'm giving you a big hug. I know you're not doing this. This is the last thing you want to damage your kids. I know. But this is what's happening, and yes, you are doing it. Why I'm saying that? Not to make you feel bad, but to tell you, once you heal that, once you can stay calm, like that eye in the middle of the eye of the tornado, like, the spot in the middle when everything else around is in the air, flying in a huge speed, doing the destruction, you can be the center, calm space, safe space for kids. Okay, this is what's possible, and this is why it's so powerful, because not only for you will stop freaking out, you will actually be able to do more.